What is up, boys? Welcome to another vlog, raw content, and teaching you guys about how you guys can take advantage of the things that I've learned over the years. Because I'm not just making these videos as a documentary, I'm making these videos to provide value to you guys. And in this specific video, I'm going to talk about what I wrote about in my final today. Now, I'm a university student, and even though I day trade, I still go to school. I live on campus. Now, I live here rent-free. I'm not paying for school, but if you guys are faced with this decision between going to school or pursuing something else, it doesn't harm you when you get an opportunity like I was given, where I can live on campus, where I can move away, because it put me under my own pressure to succeed, my own pressure to pay my own bills, my own pressure to go out and be disciplined, to still work out even though I have nobody holding me accountable, to still eat healthy even though I have nobody holding me accountable. Those are the kind of things that you can only learn after you make that step. And some of you guys are inside of this bubble that you guys can't get out of. You guys are inside of this bubble where you're only listening to what your parents tell you. You're only doing what your parents do. And it puts a lot of you guys in this stressful situation when you guys finally move out and you realize that you haven't been exposed to the world at all. And so my advice to you guys is, when you're faced with an opportunity where you can leave, whether it be go splitting rent with a buddy of yours or starting a business, take that opportunity and start doing that. Another thing that I realized from somebody that was writing something inside of my group, he said that he's doing a job that he doesn't like, and that he kind of feels in this miserable state, and he's like, I wish I started earlier. And one of those reasons why you didn't is because everybody around you tells you to go towards this specific route where you go to school, where you get a degree, where you get a job, you work part-time. That's what people tell you. They go work at a job, a part-time job. And when you go and do that, you often lose sight of the idea that there's money elsewhere. Honestly, those part-time jobs that pay you maybe $1,000 or $1,500 a month, you can make that so easily doing absolutely anything else. But they tell you to go work a part-time job, and you never get the opportunity to even think outside of the bubble that everybody's in. You never get that opportunity. And so my advice to you guys is, think outside of the bubble. Now, if you're watching this video, you're obviously already exposed to that. But one of the things that I've done pretty much since high school is think about every other thing that I would rather do than work a job. And I do it. I was in every single field you could possibly think of. Now I'm obviously 100% focused into day trading. The reason why is because you cannot be a master of all fields. Because it's jack of all trades, master of none. That's the quote that you kind of go by. You can be really skilled and good at everything, but when you start to focusing all of your efforts, all of your attention into one thing, that's when it begins to actually skyrocket. That's when it begins to break the boundaries. Versus yes, some people will argue against me and say, you can do everything. Sure you can, bro. Sure you can, but you're going to be very divided. You're going to feel a need to divide your attention. One of the things for me is being in school and then focusing on my business. The moment that I have an exam coming up, I don't want to lose the scholarship I was given. I still want to succeed in school. I still want to get the diploma. It'd be embarrassing for me if I didn't. So I still want to do that kind of stuff. And when it comes down to exams, my brain has to switch from content creation creativity over to studying, over to this information that I have to store in my head. And the moment that I'm done with the exams, it's oh, I've lost that little creative touch, and I have to spend a day or two trying to get back into that groove. And sometimes it takes longer than that. And that's one of the things that helped me realize that your attention cannot be divided. Your attention should be focused, and you should go 130, 150% into one specific field instead of putting 25% into 4 fields. Because you start breaking that 100% barrier when you go so deep into something, you put so much that you start seeing the things that normally people don't see. Because it's a completely different game. As people say, there's levels to it. And everybody sees maybe 4 levels. But the moment that you get to the 4th level in one thing, and you're only in this one field, you're looking for a way to go higher. And that's when you break those 4 levels and you start going into those hidden levels. And those levels is how you push past that 100%, and you give it so much more effort. You know how to scale better. But when you're divided you genuinely see pushback from every single field. And your brain cannot like operate like that. You can't operate thinking about, like, for example, in my situation, I can't operate thinking about like the 4 different classes that I have, and each one of them is a different subject. I have to be in a different like brain state to be thinking about all this information and then thinking about content. Like, it's a completely different like retaining information from here versus creative information where I'm picking up like different things and trying to put it into my own way. It's like a different style of thinking, where when it's education, I take what I learn and that's exactly the answer to the question. When it comes to content, I take what I learn and I have to shift it into my own way. It's 2 different styles of thinking. And when I divide my attention like that and I shift over to that studying, I have to shift back in order to start thinking for content again. And it's the same for a bunch of different businesses. You're gonna think different in a fishing business than you are inside of a car business. Those are 2 different businesses, and you have to have a different creative thought. You have to be able to actually explore the field and know how to take full advantage of it, rather than trying to run both of those completely different businesses and your mind is just divided. Now, if you're a successful businessman, you have good friends and you can allocate a friend towards a specific business and still be an owner, like, you can do that, right? But it's when it comes to like you actually mastering a business and actually scaling up, you have to focus your attention. And so that's my piece of advice for you guys in this video. I'm done with finals. I'm gonna lock in on content. This channel I was supposed to post every single day, but I don't know, man. I lost my touch while I was focusing on finals week. Like, it's literally, today's my last final at 7 o'clock. And then I'm done. I'm locked in, boys. So if you guys are gonna see me a lot more, you guys have already been seeing me. I've still been posting on social media, and I've still been streaming 3 times a day, every single day. So if you guys want to tune into that, I will link everything in the description. Just go hit that link. See you guys in the next video. Peace.